Let's get into Cringe of the Week.
All right.
Cringe of the Week. Our first thing from Cringe of the Week, we have like basically a double Cringe of the Week. This is probably the strongest Cringe of the Week we've ever prepared.
Yeah.
Not just saying that. Billy Eichner's big mad no one wants to see his gay movie.
Pretty much.
He's calling everyone homophobic. He's like tweeting like, go keep up the fight and go out there and see the movie like desperate. The movie made like $4 million and it's open, which is just like super trash, horrible.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to get to the bottom of this with Richard Rapoy. Mm-hmm. So Richard Rapoy and I were going to go see the movie to see like what the hype is all about, what the problem is. But then I realized, what if someone sees me and Richard Rapoy standing in line or in the theater at the gay movie?
That's true.
And then we see the movie and what we like, what we see, like, don't want to deal with that.
Don't want to deal with the feelings that might come out of that.
So I'm like scared. I'm scared of the gay stuff. It's like homophobia.
Yeah, exactly.
It's homophobia.
Otherwise, we'd be there. We'd be punching
Yeah.
our tickets. They'd be getting popcorn while he gets the drinks, having a nice bro time watching bros.
Exactly. Homophobia.
That's it.
Scared. I'm scared of the homo.
My favorite thing is Billy Eichner's kind of like scrambling, mad at everyone, accusing, pointing fingers. Why don't you like it? Who's doing it? And he's like, Rolling Stone already has Bros on the list of best comedies of the 21st century. It's like, you think that's real, bro?
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Rolling Stone said it's
yeah.
Who's Rolling Stone said that she's a lady, so she's a lady. Okay.
Yeah, Rolling Stone put Harry Styles on the cover too, and he was wearing a dress, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. And here's some of the trailer that they released, and let us know what you guys think.
Friendships are different.
I have to go to a party and you're too old to be in the pool. Please leave.
Our sex lives are different.
Ass pic?
Don't have ass pic.
Must see pic of ass.
Took this just for you, bro.
Did he block me? I don't want any Hollywood bullshit. No scenes where two guys are about to hook up and all of a sudden the camera conveniently pulls away.
Oh. Hey, I'm gonna go. This is nice meeting you. Yeah, you too. It was lovely.
Maybe you're both bottoms and that's the problem.
Oh my god. Gay sex was more fun when straight people were uncomfortable with it.
Well, you got what you wanted, basically. How about the part where he says, none of the Hollywood bullshit about when they're about to hook up and they pull away. We're going to show it. Okay, I don't want to see the movie.
Yeah.
It's like, that's easy.
Oh my God, shock value in the trailer. Two guys blowing this guy. Bye, Billy. Who's it for?
Not for me. Not for me.
Yeah.
So rom-coms obviously are for girls and their boyfriends.
Guys who get dragged along.
So girls they're not like into gay guys, so they're not going to see it. Mm-hmm. Guys aren't going to see a rom-com, let alone a gay rom-com.
That's two strikes.
So
on a one-strike system.
Yeah. So who's left to buy it? All the gay people, I guess.
Yeah, the gay guys. And well, actually, one more. Lesbians, they got beef with gay guys.
Yeah.
They're in the LGBT. They're all kind of together, but they have beef with gay guys. Let's be honest.
Exactly. So everyone who doesn't want to see this movie is homophobic, and they're scared of gay stuff. Look at this, and also speaking of like what we said before about everyone's in the bed they made. Look at this old tweet from Billy Eichner. He says, get your fictional, hateful Bible stories and your fake fictional religious bullshit out of our fucking lives. Fuck you. That was earlier this year.
And I'm sure that was like some Supreme Court ruling or something that he was lashing out.
So that was earlier this year. Well, it looks like people don't like the gay shit, but they like God more.
Yeah, looks like your little made-up story was equally shit to what you think ours are.
Yeah, exactly. And then something that he needs to remember, it's like, where do you think the phrase, miss me with that gay shit comes from?
Exactly. He didn't even think about gay was used as an insult until like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Billy. That's
Exactly.
gay. The movie's gay.
The movie's gay.
So marketing-wise, it's like, wait, what? Are they telling me not to see it?
Exactly. Miss me with the gay shit. That didn't come from nothing, Billy. It came from this movie. So once again, everyone is laying in the bed they made. Billy Eichner, that's what you get. Love to see it. Let's get into
my favorite is the lash out afterwards. Like, you can't just take an L silently. You know, like shit. We kind of really misjudged how the demand for a gay rom-com. Let's just back to the drawing board. No, you lash out. You start blaming people, finger pointing.
You like guilt people into what? Guilt them into seeing it?
I'm sure some did. Some gay guys are like, okay, let's go do our part so we get another movie in 10 years.
Literally, that's exactly what happened. And he said in one of his tweets, like, keep up the fight. Go see Bros this weekend.
Yeah.
It's like, keep up the fight.
It's
I
like,
have
I just got
homework now.
canceled.
I have homework now.
Exactly. I got canceled. Subscribe to my Patreon. It's like basically the same thing.
Exactly. So that's what Billy Eichner's mad about this week. Obviously, we're not going to see the gay movie. We don't like gay shit.
Well, we've been doing that.
That's it.
We've been doing that a little bit where we kind of hate watch stuff. And we were watching one of those movies, the Black Road Trip movie, remember, on Netflix?
Oh, yeah, with Ludacris.
And it's like immediately like a racist white character enters, and we're just like, like we can't even hate watch it because these movies are so bad, you know?
And then any time that you don't see it or the numbers aren't good, and that's proof of the problem. And then it's like, oh, it's proof of homophobia. It's like, isn't everything gay? You guys have a whole month. You have like every single, you're represented in every single industry.
Yeah.
It's like the gay movie, it's not like the gay movie came out 10 years ago.
Feels
And it's
like
like a subtle gay character. It's like a gay sex movie.
Exactly.
Not everyone likes that.
Exactly. And yeah, back to what you were saying, like the general trend, people are tired of it. You guys have been pushing a lot recently. Drag shit, like, in school stuff, everything we've been talking about in Cringe, basically. And it's not the time to keep shoving it.
Yeah, exactly. And it all comes full circle in this Cringe, as you'll see. It's like everything is accepted and okay and good as long as it's gay or trans or lesbian, but not if it's like a straight situation.
Absolutely.
Not for the straight people. And you'll see why later in Cringe. Our first clip of Cringe, besides the Billy stuff, girls were banned from their own locker room on a volleyball team. Check this clip out.
Randolph Union High School, where she talked with one of the players who is now facing disciplinary action.
Vermont education policy says that students can play sports and use whatever locker room corresponds with their gender. But some members of the Randolph girls volleyball team say that they object to having one of their transgender teammates be in the room while they change. I spoke to one of the girls.
It's a huge thing. Everyone's asking, like, so why aren't you allowed in the locker room? Like,
high school student Blake Ellen and her teammates are currently barred from using the locker room after some of the girls on the team objected to allowing a transgender player in the girls' locker room.
my mom wants me to do this interview to try to make a change.
Ellen says the dispute started when the trans student made an inappropriate comment while members of the volleyball team were getting changed.
Biological boys that go in the girls' bathroom, but never a locker room situation. They want all the girls who feel uncomfortable, so pretty much 10 girls to get changed in a single stall bathroom, which would take over 30 minutes, when if one person got changed separately, it would take a minute, no extra time.
So that's what they have. The safe spaces that are created are not for the girls. It's for the trans people.
Got to cater to the lowest common denominator.
Exactly.
Right?
There's a totem pole, and that's how you figure out who the safe spaces are for. And they're basically being told to use a single stall bathroom, 10 girls, if they oppose the trans person changing with them, instead of just telling the trans person to use the single stall bathroom, which would probably solve the whole problem.
Duh. But no, that's too easy. They got to make it a whole thing. And this girl, they said it. This trans person made an inappropriate comment. Like, these girls don't just like freak out over nothing, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder what that sick little creep was saying.
Yeah.
You know?
It's very sick. These are high school girls. It's very sad.
The other point I want to say is, like, she said, my mom wanted me to do this interview to make a change. And it's like, yeah, do you think this girl wants to be interviewing and fighting and like thrust into the spotlight? It's the same thing with that swimmer girl with what's her face?
Yeah.
What's
Leah
his
Thomas.
face? Leah. Throwback. But you just get thrust into these battles that you should have no business fighting. The adults, the normal, well-balanced teachers should say, okay, let's just, the trans person, let's exclude them a little because obviously everyone's uncomfortable. But no, it has to be a...
So the guy who's pretending to be a girl has more rights than the actual girls. And it's kind of like, how did this happen? I was watching the Storm coverage with Rap Boy last week, and they had the sign language interpreter. I think once we let that sign language interpreter person into every
major press conference
and show, that was kind of the slippery slope. Because in the beginning, it's like, deaf people, we need to like look out for them. We have to have like the interpreter on the side. And then it got everyone into like this victim mindset of like, oh, who else?
What about me?
Yeah, who else are we not thinking about? Oh, the trans people and the gays and the lesbians. Who else are we not considering? Who else is disenfranchised that we need to look out for? And it put us into a victim mindset. It was a slippery slope. They had subtitles the whole time. We've always had subtitles.
I know, closed captioning.
But once you say yes to that, it was a slippery slope situation. And now we have this.
Yeah. And it's especially funny because like the other teams probably hate this player too. They're like, we're not playing against a guy. What the hell? And then the locker room, this person has no allies, no friends, except for the administration who sets arbitrary rules that hurt everybody else, right?
Yeah, Vermont.
Classic.
Of course they're going to do it. Next clip, trans discomfort.
Yeah, here's another in the same vein.
If this is like a physical space, I'm always going to prioritize my own safety because oftentimes that discomfort somebody feels is actually just violence waiting to happen. And it's also not my job as the trans person to navigate the discomfort. I'm not the one who's uncomfortable with other women. They are. I'm just existing. And so my question is, if you're uncomfortable, why are you uncomfortable with other women? What pieces of internalized misogyny are failing you right now? What is in your way of acknowledging this person's or my humanity? Those are often not things that people can answer right off the bat, but they're really the important underlying questions to be asking ourselves. Sometimes right off the bat, though, I can sense it. I'm like, oh, okay, I've seen this before. I know how this goes. And I give them a compliment. It's really hard to dislike somebody when they're nice to you first.
So that's it. If you're uncomfortable, it's violence waiting to happen.
Yeah.
And then when you have that as the standard of like what you're dealing with, then you can basically take any action you want on offense, because if you don't take action, you might get violently attacked. You're preventing violence, which is a physical thing. And it's not their fault that you're uncomfortable with other women.
Yeah.
Are you gaslighting me completely right now? Am I taking crazy pills?
No, they are gaslighting. And then he's like, with another woman, it's like, nice cock, lady. Like, I see you in the locker room. And then it's like, this guy goes into the women's locker room or something, and he goes, oh, and I see someone who looks uncomfortable. I start complimenting him. Nice tits, ma'am. Like, you know.
It's like, this trans person made a compliment. It made a comment that wasn't appropriate. It's pretty good. And then Larry Elder posted something on Instagram. And he said, we live in a world where your kid cannot pretend to be an Indian, but a grown man can pretend to be a woman. Isn't that kind of interesting?
Yeah, it's dark. It's dark.
It's very dark. It's very dystopic. Is that correct?
Yeah. Let him have it. Sometimes you got to let him have it.
Yeah. Also, thing to remember. Remember Angelina Jolie's daughter, Shiloh?
Yes.
Was like gender fluid or whatever, and then started going by John for like a long time.
A couple years, I think it was.
And now she's back to being Shiloh again.
And she looks like Angelina Jolie. She's like, beautiful. Like,
yeah.
Go on a track to be absolutely beautiful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's weird that we don't hear that story, or we don't really highlight that situation where a person basically grew out of the trans thing. No one wants to bring that up.
Yeah, exactly. Charlize Theron had some toys too, some accessories, as we call them, trans kid or an oppression point earner. Yeah. We'll see. And I think there's a difference, because it's one of those things where it's like, come on with us. Come on. We're all getting surgery. We're all taking testosterone and stuff. And then the celebs are like, well, the smart, really rich people are like, well, you go ahead, but I'm gonna let it play out.
Yeah, I'm fine with it, but maybe not for my kid.
Yeah.
And a lot of the things when it comes to like the trans issues and like the kids, it's not necessarily, it is like the trans people's fault who are like aggressively pushing it on the children.
Yeah.
But it's not like the trans community. It's actually the people in the middle who are just watching and just not caring and saying, oh, I don't want to be called transphobic by Billy Eichner, so kids should do whatever they think is best. Like, that's the problem. It's the people sitting on the sidelines who are just kind of watching this happen and watching the country get forfeited because they don't want to get called a name on the way down. When in reality, it's like a lot of people feel the same way. And if you spoke up, it'd be easier for everyone else to speak up. But no one wants to do that because they're scared.
Yeah. It's drastically unpopular.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where the right key institutions are like, well, this is our policy. Mm-hmm. And you're kind of fired if you go out of line too much. So
yeah, exactly. So while Americans fight over this and our children are subjugated to the trans stuff, here's what's going on in China. Here's what they're doing over there. They continue to train for the mission.
What is the mission, by the way?
I can't say on the show, but it'll start in like 2030.
2030? Once Taiwan is taken, then we'll know the mission?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this.
Our kids can't do that.
Well, our kids are dealing with the emotional instability of their fat lady teacher who's like going by something else that she's not.
And in China, they have a guy going,
in China, they keep the rhythm, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
In the U.S., the teacher just cries.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we're still in Cringe of the Week. Moving on to our next story, the Tony Belvin story. Can you kind of intro that?
Tony Belvin?
The Apple guy?
Oh, yes. I didn't know his name. So basically, this is from a video of this kid who goes around, a viral TikTok kid who goes around asking people what kind of car they drive and then what do they do
Daniel
for a
Mack,
living.
right?
Yeah, Daniel Mack.
Oh, I love your car. What do you do?
And then they give some weird answer, some funny thing, blah, blah, blah. He has a unique take on everything. So this guy who he got is Apple's VP of procurement. So for like procurement is basically, you know, making deals with all suppliers of Apple, oh, here, let's get this zinc from this place. Let's get, this material for our, shirts or whatever. So kind of a big deal. Like if you're a $1 trillion company like Apple, procurement, that's a huge job.
Yeah.
And so should I just let the video play?
Let the video play.
Ooh, good sir, your car's awesome. What do you do for a living?
I race cars, play golf, and fondle big-breasted women. But I take weekends and major holidays off.
Okay. That is quite the career. I'm looking to get into that.
So he makes a joke. He says, I play golf and what's the other, fondle big-breasted women.
That's the crux.
Yeah.
I fondle big-breasted women. He's doing a bit. He's getting out of a car at some rich executive thing. He does a bit.
And then he got fired for that.
Apple fired him.
Apple
yes.
fired him for making crude comments. So the gays can tell your kids that if they're a boy, they're a girl. They can encourage your kids to tip stripping drag queens. That's all okay.
Billy Eichner can zoom out and it's two guys sucking somebody else's dick.
Yep, that's all okay. That's all mainstream and normal. But if you act like a normal guy and you make a comment about tits,
if you have 1 ounce of red-blooded American in you,
you're done.
Call it quits, buddy.
It's done. You're fired. You can't make comments about tits at all. If you do, you're fired. You can't acknowledge tits, even if they're prosthetic double Z cups.
Even if they're right in front of your face and you're a Canadian student.
Yeah, so you have to shut up and be quiet or else you're homophobic. Take your painkillers and forfeit the greatest country on earth to
Take your opioids.
to the gays who think they're a lady.
Yeah.
That's what they expect you to do, I guess.
That's the first thing I thought when I saw this. It's like so innocuous, and he's with a lady who laughs at it. Like everybody knows it's a bit. The guy recording knows it's a bit. And then what? Who gets mad? Somebody who demands to be in a locker room they don't belong in.
Yeah, and that guy has to get fired. He was probably good at his job. He's a VP or whatever. Now he's fired because he said what straight guys would think is funny. And straight's not okay anymore.
And you know what? This is like whatever happens, like, yeah, you're representing Apple. Maybe you should have a little better judgment, whatever. But that's not the point. The point is like what they can show your kids. They can show your kids a library book of someone sucking a dildo in whatever. But no, big-breasted women liking that is the biggest no-no you can do.
That would be bad because kids would see that and then go, oh, cool, being a guy is sweet.
Mm-hmm.
They have to think. The kids need to see what they want to portray to the kids is you need to see gay stuff and think, I didn't think I was gay, but I guess if that's what normal is, I can figure it out.
Oh, a rich white guy doing whatever he wants and having a cool one-liner that he gets laughs at? Not allowed.
Not allowed.
And it's not even that good of a line. It's just like whatever.
It wasn't that funny.
He's fooling around, clearly.
Yeah, he's like an old guy.
Wait, Apple, did you think he really does that for a living?
They had to fire him.
Yeah.
I bet you could find someone at Apple who says some pretty disgusting stuff on their Twitter about taking PrEP and having gay sex parties.
I would agree.
That's okay. That's normal because you can't, anything that's straight is bad.
Yep.
Gay is good. Gay is normal. There was a survey done in an Alabama middle school where they asked kids about their sexuality. And at the end of the survey, it asks, are your parents progressive, like yes or no? Which is basically like the most 1984 shit ever.
Yeah.
Where you turn the kids and you have your kids spying on your parents and like turning their parents in to the teacher, to the progressive police. And that's in Alabama.
What do you think the teacher was going to do with that information? Learn how far they could push the classroom?
Well, they know who the problematic kids are because if the kids say my parents aren't progressive, then that teacher would go out of their way to find that kid and make sure that they're getting progressive lessons taught and they're, compensating for the conservatism at home. And basically they would turn their kids against their conservative parents. In Alabama.
That's the plan.
It's not Vermont.
Yeah.
It's in Alabama they're doing that. Oh, by the way, did you know that October is LGBTQIA plus History Month?
I didn't.
Yeah, you got to start learning about that because these gay guys just want to get married. You gotta put your time in and learn and educate yourself because these gay guys just want to get married.
Yeah,
man.
what is that? June, July, August, September. That's 3 quick months off, and they're back on for a full month. Oh, and this is a 31-day month too.
Yeah.
So Halloween is Gay History Halloween.
Yeah, they went hard for the summer. They take the end of September off. They get back from Fire Island.
Yeah, they come.
They sit on their little donut, so it's easy, so it doesn't hurt. And then now it's Gay History Month all over again.
Yep, start to fire up the lessons.
Exactly. Last clip of Cringe of the Week. This is not sexually trans gay related.
Yeah.
This is actually a Justin Awad copier clip. Check this out. So hold on really quick before you play it. These people, everyone now is copying Justin Awad. Mm-hmm. They're doing like the simple questions and the man in the street style in the way Justin Awad was doing. Justin Awad came first, and then a lot of these TikTokers and Snapchatters are trying to do it similar. So this guy asks a question that Justin Awad literally asked himself, where it's, if you were born 7 years ago, how old would you be today? You hear the question, you go, if I was born 7 years ago, I'd be 7 today because you said I was born 7 years ago.
It's that simple. There's no math actually needed.
It's not even a brain teaser either. Mm-hmm. It's not like, oh, like the sister's 3 years older than the sister who's 2 years younger than the brother. It's like, it's just, if you were born 7 years ago, how old would you be? You'd be 7. It's very simple. So this person asked the question. Look how the girls react to the girl who actually got it right.
Born 7 years ago, you're 7.
What?
2022, babe. 2022, babe.
If I was 6, no, you'd be 13.
Isn't that like so sad?
They like ganged up on her.
And they go, and the girl's like, 2022, babe. It goes like this.
You'd be 14? Where'd 14 come from? You don't multiply it.
You think he's asking your age minus 7? 21 minus 7 is 14? That's not the question. And those stupid girls teamed up on that nice girl who got it right and said, what? They started laughing
She immediately goes, whoa, maybe the trans people should be in the locker room.
Yeah, and that's how it goes. Like, if you have a different opinion that goes away from the group, even if the group is entirely wrong and retarded, you're in trouble. You got it wrong. What? We're 2022, babe.
Yeah.
There's no right answers. We don't do those. We don't do the right answers. It's 2020. Maybe she was saying it's 2022, babe, meaning like everyone's dumb now. We don't. It's 2022, babe.
We may never know what
we don't know math. You're answering like someone who knows math. We don't know math, babe. It's 2022. So that was so sad for that girl. That girl will probably like never feel confident to answer a question in public again, even though she got it right and her instincts were on point. If you are that girl, we'll send you a base mug, but I doubt you watch the show, and you probably would watch the show and not agree with anything. And
She'd be like, wait, which part am I in on this? It's like we're right past the gay guys taking too much ground, and then right before the Apple exec, they defend the Apple exec who was talking titties.
Yeah, exactly. Right after they made fun of the trans people and before they got into the Urban Decay section.
Right after they clowned on Billy Eichner, way after they clowned on Christian Walker.
Yeah, so that's very sad for that girl. She had the right answer, and the stupid mob who all got it wrong bullied her into getting it wrong too, which is like the progressive agenda in a nutshell.
Yep.
It's like kids shouldn't be trans, and if they are, they shouldn't be like, it shouldn't be promoted. And it's like, if you disagree with that, you're correct, but if you disagree with that, you have the wrong take. Get back in line. Everyone here thinks that trans kids are good, even though it's the wrong answer, which is scary. It's very sad.
It is.
That's the whole progressive agenda dichotomy in a 5-second clip.